Autobots, roll out!
Hello and welcome to That's Just Prime, and today we're going to be taking a tiny little look at World's Smallest Transformers Convoy, or Optimus Prime, and I love this toy. Originally released in July of 2003, the original toy had a paint job that was more inspired by the original toy. This particular piece right here was later released in March of 2004, and it was a repaint, and it was better known as the animation color variant. So this guy was painted more to look like the animation than it did like the original toy. It originally retailed for approximately 380 yen, which would nowadays converts to about $3 American. I don't know what the conversion rate would have been back when this guy was originally released. So yeah, originally this guy came out. This guy is absolutely tiny, 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 as you can see by the size of my hands next to it. And it's a very faithful reproduction of the original toy, just in very, very small size. Here in truck mode, Optimus is approximately 2 inches long and about 1 inch tall. So yeah, very, very little guy. And as you can see, just bringing him in close for detail, we'll have to try and let's see if we can get focused in on something this small. There we go. So yeah, he's very well detailed. You can see, you can see a little bit of the robot parts in there, as you could with the original. You have to be a little forgiving when it comes to something this small. And now you can see that there is the hitch post right there for the trailer. This particular guy did not come with a trailer. It came in a small box, just as you see here. So I set out to look for a trailered version, because I know there had been some trailer versions that had been released. So I set out to look for some, and I found this guy online. Now this guy is a knockoff. This first guy here, this guy is original. This guy here is a knockoff. And what's interesting about this guy, there's a couple of tells. The first tell is that this guy has the black windows. And that is going to be the telltale sign, because the original version that I was talking about for this guy, the toy colored version, had black windows instead of blue. So this guy has the black windows. However, the original toy did not have the silver trim around the windows. That was something that was specific to the animation colors. So there's another tell that I'll show you later on. Also, the trailer that it comes with, this is the trailer that was specifically set for the animation. So this is the animation colors trailer, but this is a toy colored cab. So there you go. The one that was original colors had the blue stripes on the trailer, just like the original toy did. So it was kind of like a mix and match. Like the cab was looking to emulate the original toy, where the trailer was looking to emulate the animation version. And again, here in truck mode, the biggest the tells, rather just apart from the fact that it's one colored with another colored, is the fact that he's got the silver trim on the windows. But there you go. That is what he would look like with the trailer. And with the trailer attached, he's approximately 4.5 inches long and about 1.25 inches tall. So there you go. Other than that, these two toys are almost identical in every way, except for one small detail, which I will show you later. Getting into transformation, real quick, just to compare. Well, why don't we do this? Let's look at them next to the original toy, so you can see where all the cues came from and how close this guy actually is to emulating that original toy, which they did a really, really good job of getting this figure to look like the original toy. So there you go. And now getting into transformation. Transformation is very simple, and it's going to be just like the original toy. So we're going to start with the legs. The back of the truck right here, we're going to flip these guys down. These are going to be the legs. And then we're going to flip the toes open. One big difference here, there are two major differences between the original toy and the smallest right here. This is going to be your first one right here. With the original toy, if you remember, when you flip the legs down, they automatically separate, just like so. Well, the smallest transformer is not going to do that. As you can see, the legs stay together. So that's just the way they're going to stay. They're not going to come apart. Next, we're going to come to the arms. We're going to flip these guys open and just flip them around. And you can see that the fists are already there. You don't have to plug the fists in like you did with the original toy. So go ahead and rotate this guy out as well. And he's giving me trouble. He does not want to come out. Come on, buddy. Let's get in there. There we go. He did not want to transform. All right. So there you go. There's the second arm, and then we're going to go up to the top, and we're going to flip the head around again, just like we did with the original. And there is the world's smallest Transformers Convoy in robot mode, and how cool does he look? Here in robot mode, Optimus is approximately 2.25 inches tall, and just bringing him in close so you can see all the detail on him. Again, you see if you can get focused on this tiny little guy. You can see that he looks very much like his G1 counterpart, trying to get in close on the head. And I think that's about as focused as we're going to get. You know, again, not super detailed because of how small the scale on this guy is. But they did a pretty good job at emulating that head from the G1 toy, and I absolutely love it. As far as articulation goes, it's going to be very limited. The head can, let's focus. You know, you can look up and down a little bit with the head due to transformation, but not, you know, that's not a whole lot. You are going to have a little bit of in and out again because of the transformation. You don't have any rotation. Now the elbows are on ball joints, so you can bend the elbows forward and backward. You can rotate them out some, and again, that's going to be due to transformation. And then the legs can go back just a little bit because of transformation, as well as the toes. That's about it. So you're going to have very, very limited articulation here. He does have a weapon that looks very much like his original weapon from the original toy. And these guys are very small, and it's kind of hard to show off something this small sometimes. I've been putting off doing this guy because trying to focus on some of these pieces is just so difficult. So there we go. There's what the weapon looks like. And as you can see, it does not have a peg. It rather has these two little, it's like this little clip. So what we're going to do is it's going to just clip around the arm because you can see that the fist does not have a peg hole. And there's a reason why I'm pointing that out. So we'll just go ahead and clip that on right there just like so. And that is what Optimus is going to look like with his weapon. Now, just to compare, we'll bring in the KO one that I picked up, and as you can see, they're pretty much, again, identical in every way except for the paint. So the original one would have had the silver legs versus the white legs that the animation model had, and then this guy has a red fist. That's another telltale sign from to see the difference between the knockoff and the real thing, because the real thing did have blue fists. Now, you're probably noticing that the KO has a peg hole on his fist. That is the third and biggest telltale sign, I think, between the knockoff and the original. You see the weapon on the knockoff does have a little peg, and you can actually peg it into the fist, which I really love. I really think that looks great right there. But that is a big telltale sign right there. So if you have one, if you're looking around, you're trying to get one of these guys, and you see that the weapon actually pegs into the fist like so, even though that looks better, in my opinion, that is the knockoff. So just heads up on that. That is what the knockoff is going to look like. The original has the clip and just clips around the arm. So there you go. That's what these guys look like. And just for comparison, here they are next to the G1 Prime, so you can tell the difference. There you go. They did a very, very good job. Again, I can't stop gushing over these guys and how good of a job they did emulating that original toy, considering how small these guys are. Now, the biggest difference from the original toy on these guys is also that the whole front of the cab, including the headlights, does stay on their chest, versus the original where the headlights actually become the peg holes where you peg your fists in. And it does have a tendency to make these smaller guys look a little boxier than the original, but it's not terrible. So there you go. That's what those guys look like. And then finally, before we close out, why don't we bring this guy back down again? We'll set these guys off to the back here, and we'll bring in the trailer. The trailer is really, really cool. You can do just about everything that you could do with the original trailer. So these guys right there, they'll flip around forward so that the trailer does stand up on its own when it's not on the truck. And then again, you can flip these guys over to the side, and they're just on little pegs like that. So you can just peg that. You saw that fall just now. You can just peg it in right there. It doesn't cause any damage to the trailer. But you can flip them around to the sides like that so that you can open the trailer up. So you can open this guy up just like you did with the original. And we've got a couple of things here. So here we have our little roller. And this variation here did come with two weapons. So if you can see, there's if you remember, the original Optimus Prime did have two different variations of his weapon, one with a narrow barrel and one with a wide barrel. This guy comes with both. As you can see right there, you can see both. You can see the difference on the barrels right there. So it's pretty cool that this guy came with both. And yes, you can unplug it from here, and you can give it to Optimus, or you can do as I did here and just peg it right into roller right there, which is the way I like to keep it. So now roller does not roll. These wheels doesn't. These wheels are just molded on. So you're just gonna have to kind of set him down, or you could push him along, but he doesn't actually roll. And then over here on the trailer, you've got your little repair drone right here. So this guy is on a double hinge. So you got a hinge on the bottom, and you got a hinge right there in the middle. You got that little elbow piece right there, as well as a hinge again on the top right here, right under the head. So this guy is very well articulated. You can move him around up and down all over the place and rotate him. And then obviously he's not going to fire missiles, but the little cab here, the little cockpit here, does open. And then you've got the little radar arm that you can move around, as well as the repair arm right there. And I think this might open. Yep, it sure does. The little claw piece does open also. So very impressive, all the stuff that they actually managed to put into this guy. You got a little ejector piece right here. Now this is just molded in. This is not going to actually shoot. But you can set roller right there. There you go. And now the only downside that I would say for this guy is that it doesn't actually have the pegs over here for the weapons. So normally if I have this guy, the way I like to display these guys is I like to keep the original one in robot mode, and I like to keep the KO in truck mode with the trailer attached. And typically his rifle that he's holding right now is typically just kind of floating around in here because there isn't really anywhere to peg it on. That's really kind of the only downside that I can find to this guy. So there we go. We just set these guys up like so for one final shot. And I think that is about going to do it for the world's smallest Transformers, Convoy, or Optimus Prime. What did you think of this figure, and what would you like to see me review next? Let me know by leaving me a comment down below. Give me some thumbs up. Subscribe and share with your friends if you like what you see, and I'll talk to you next time on That's Just Prime.